Hey guys, it's StarAce26, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to mod the X-Shot Rapid Fire. Now, I'm going to be chronographing the stock Rapid Fire. Let's do that now. Now, I will be chronographing the stock numbers. Let's get started. 65. 79. 56. 70. 63. 63. 65. 65. 68. 69.
For this mod, you will need your rapid fire, a Phillips head screwdriver, a Roughcut spring, some scissors, and electrical tape. Okay, so this blue piece is pretty hard to get off. It goes on like this, and what I had to do is just take a flathead screwdriver and pry it off like that. I didn't damage it too bad. It's kind of cut up right there, but it'll still go back in when I need to put it back in. So this might take a little while for you to get out, but once you get it out, you don't have to worry about it until you put it back on. So okay guys, so once you get your blaster open, there will be two size screws. There will be this little small one. There's only one of these, and it'll go right in that hole right there for the trigger guard. The rest of them in the handle and the rest of the body are this size, and they're longer than this one. So you should be able to tell which ones go where. So let's get this open, and you may need to use a flathead screwdriver to get this open, but mine came apart pretty easily. So right here's the catch and the trigger. Pretty simple actually. They don't have all these weird locks like Nerf does, but yeah. So right here will be your plunger, and you can just pull it out just like this, and you can see that that plunger tube is pretty big, especially for the size of this blaster. That's a pretty big plunger tube. So you should be able to fit many types of springs on this thing. There isn't really any pre-compression on the spring, so you could probably put some springs that are a bit longer than this. What I'm going to be doing is putting a Roughcut spring over it, and then E-taping underneath the O-ring, and taking out that air restrictor, as you can see there, but you can just clip these off, so you don't actually have to drill anything out through there. So that's pretty cool. Also guys, I forgot to tell you that if you struggle putting your blaster together, you might want to just take a picture of this when you open it, and if you didn't and you already took it apart, this is just a quick little overview on how everything goes back together. So I hope this helps. Okay guys, so the first thing that I'm going to do is take out the air restrictor, which is right here, and there's this little white part that clips onto the blue, and I'm just going to try pulling these out. Make sure not to snap them because you're going to need it to put back on this blue part. And there's the air restrictor there's going to be this really weak spring and sort of like a tooth that sticks out. You do not need these anymore. You can trash them. And then you can just take your piece that you took back off and you can just clip it back on like this. It'll clip on with this square side facing up, and it should hold on pretty nicely. And now you don't have your air restrictors in anymore. So that's the first step. Okay guys, so for the next step, you're going to want to take off this O-ring, and what I do, I just take a flathead screwdriver and I just get under the O-ring and kind of just peel it off. Shouldn't be too hard to get off, and it has an okay fit, but I want it to be a bit tighter, so I'm going to be electrical taping underneath the O-ring right there. So I just have some electrical tape, and what I'm going to do is cut a piece about as long as you need to go around it, like 1.5 times. So probably around that long. And if it's too long, you can cut it down. So now that you have this piece, it's going to be too wide to go around. So you take your scissors and you just cut a thin strip along the edge of the electrical tape. So as you can see here, I just have a thin strip, and I'm just gonna put it around this plunger head. So let me do that now. Okay, so for this last step, I'm going to be putting on a Roughcut spring, and that'll fit inside the plunger tube and over this. To get your Roughcut spring on this, we're going to need to unscrew these two screws right there. So I'll speed this up and I'll show you once I get it off. Okay guys, so now I have this plunger head off, and it actually won't slide off like this, going up like normal. It'll actually come off from the side, and there'll be two screws holding that in, and that'll prevent it from stripping out the top. So now you just want to take your Roughcut spring, and it should just be able to fit nicely over this. There we go, and you might have to twist it a little bit to get it over that little spring. And there, so that'll nestle inside of the stock spring nicely, and the Roughcut spring will have a little bit of pre-compression since it's slightly longer than the stock spring. And now you can just go ahead and screw back in your plunger head the same way that you unscrewed. Okay guys, so I have these foam little circle sticker things, and I'm going to be putting it on the plunger head because I took out the air restrictor, and if you're slamming it and dry firing it against this, it'll eventually break your plunger head. So I'm just gonna cut this to the same size as the plunger head and hot glue it on to have some cushion for when you dry fire. Okay guys, so now as you can see, I have the two foam stickers on there. So that'll protect the plunger head. This is optional. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And only having a Roughcut spring extra isn't gonna like destroy your plunger head, but just in case over time. Also, if you want, you could drill out or cut out these dart pegs, so that way you can use half-length darts. But I think I'm gonna leave them in. And if I really want to, I can open this back up and just drill those out really quickly. So now I'm gonna reassemble the blaster and just show you how it works.
Now I'll be chronographing the rapid fire after the modification. So let's start. 95. 95. 92. 91. 98. 88. Now I'm going to reload 4 more darts to get an average of 10 darts. 97. 92. 94. And duplicate 94. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this mod turned out. It's hitting between 90 and 95 FPS, which is pretty hard. I think this is actually good enough to be a secondary or one of the secondaries that I wrote through. I'm going to make a holster for this, and I can make a tutorial on that. So I'm really happy with this mod. If you did it, I hope you are also. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. And please like and subscribe for more.